Well, hello everybody, and welcome again to FEFT and More with Charles. And you know that's who I am. For new subscribers, hello. My name is Charles, and I like putting up these English fluency tips for people who have studied a while and maybe just need review about this and that, or wondered how to say this or how to say that. So grab your pencil, grab your recorder, and enjoy adding these tips to your treasure box of English fluency. Welcome to Fantastic English Fluency Tips and More with Charles, and let's get on with our session right now. We're going to be talking about third person singular verbs today. Many people who have studied English and actually know it quite well seem to have a little bit of a problem with this when speaking English. They forget to add these S's to their verbs. Then it makes it a little bit difficult to really understand and catch real clearly what they're trying to say very often. So I thought I'd just put up a few reminders here for you. Okay, we're going to be looking at some words and talking about them, so look at the board, please. First, we have words. These are just a few basic verbs. They're not all of them, of course, so these are just a few examples. Remember that, please. We have verbs that end in S. We have verbs that end in Z-sounding S, and we have verbs that end in the S with ES on them. When words end with ES, they usually has the IS sound. Then other words that end in hard consonants usually have the Z sound. And other words have the simple S sound. So let's look at a few charts with some of these words on them. First, with the S sound only, look at the chart here. I'll just say them and you can review them with me. Eat, eats. Write, writes. Bark, barks. Speak, speaks. You see, you have very clear S sound on those, don't we? Let's go with the Z sound. Read, reads. Jog, jogs. Call, calls. Clean, cleans. You can see those on the board, so it's easy to read along. Practice the sounds, the difference in the changing of the sounds. Now let's look at some words that have ES and are pronounced IS. Wash, washes. Watch, watches. Dance, dances. Fix, fixes. So you might want to wonder, or you might want to ask, you might wonder, well, when do I add S? When do I add ES? Well, here is a simple rule that you can memo if you like, so that you can remember when to add ES or when not to. Now in speech, it doesn't really make too much difference whether you are aware of it, ES, S or S, but in writing it's very important. So remember this, please. Here we go. Verbs ending in CH, S, SH, X, or Z are formed by adding the ES to the third person singular. You see? Look at our chart again. The IZ chart. Wash, washes. Watch, watches. Dance, dances. Fix, fixes. Well, you see that C there is C, but it's the S sound. So when there's a E after a C, you know, it usually is pronounced with the S sound. So there in spelling with dance, you would also add a ends with the is sound. You just add the S. It already has an E on it. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's have a few examples to illustrate these now. We're going over this so that you can remember to add the S sound to your third person singular words when speaking. I don't want to get into the logistics too much of all the spelling and everything, but I wanted to mention this to help you to remember when speaking to add S's or E's to your words. Here's an example with a sentence. Let's see. Let's use one about washing a car. Here's a girl who washes her car every weekend. Okay, let's call her Nellie. Nellie washes her car every weekend. You're giving information, and it's the third person singular. Although you're saying the name, you didn't say she. There, you're introducing, so you say her name, Nellie. Nellie washes her car every weekend. Let's ask about that. How often does Nellie wash her car? Oh, she washes her car every weekend, or she washes it every weekend. You see how simple that is? Wash, washes. Let's go to another one. How about Ted and his computer? How often does Ted use his computer? Use. Oh, it's easy, isn't it? Ted uses his computer every day. He uses it every day. Okay. Wash, washes, use, uses. Let's see. Let's use one. Let's find one that doesn't have an ES, but has just an S and the pronunciation. Okay, Martha. She jogs. Martha jogs every morning. How often does Martha jog? She jogs every morning. It's the Z sound, but not the ES is sound, isn't it? Okay. Let's talk about another person and what they do. Okay, how about Ken? Ken writes his mother every week. How often does Ken write his mother? He writes his mother every week. You see, it's got the S sound. We had bark, barks, write, writes, jog, jogs, wash, washes. Well, those were little illustrations to help you remember to add your S and ES, your S, Z, or is to the words you speak in your English conversation. That's it for now. Look at the playlist for other tips on different word usages and ways of saying things to help your English fluency. Bye for now. So glad you could be here with us on this one. And remember, please do subscribe, give us likes, and yes, do tell a friend. And remember to please take care. See you on the next one.